Why October could be a defining moment in Pi network movement. After August 15th was fueled by rumors that PiCoin would be listed on Binance, this time, October could be the make or break month, bringing a wave of excitement within the Pi network community. So what do you think, pioneers? Are you looking forward to trading Pi, using decentralized applications, or participating in network governance? But if you could ask the core team one question about October's developments, what would it be? How has Pi network affected your understanding of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology? Many started with no crypto experience, so share how this journey educated you. Let's now greet all my incredible pioneer and welcome back to the channel where we cut through the noise and bring you the real story behind Pi network's evolution. If you're new here, you've just discovered the most trusted source for Pi network analysis. Whether you're turning from the Papua New Guinea, United States, India, Nigeria, Philippines, Canada, Kenya, even South Africa, or anywhere else on this beautiful planet, you can join our community by smash subscribe button and ring notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, comment PI network to the moon along with your country name to show the world just how massive and united our pioneer movement really is across every continent. Let me take you back to August 15th, a date that will forever be etched in Pi network history, but not for the reasons we originally hoped. The excitement that surged through our community was unlike anything we'd experienced before. Social media platforms were ablaze with speculation. Some Twitter accounts were posting cryptic messages that seemed to confirm what we all desperately wanted to believe, and the rumor mill was working overtime with claims that Binance was finally ready to list PiCoin. The anticipation was suffocating. Pioneers who had been mining for years suddenly felt like validation was just around the corner. Group chats were buzzing with theories about price predictions, exchange integrations, and the dawn of a new era for our beloved Pi network. But then, August 15th arrived, passed through like any ordinary day, and left us with nothing but silence. No Binance announcement, no core team statement, no acknowledgement of the massive expectations that had been building for weeks. The aftermath was brutal. Pioneers. The disappointment cut deep because it wasn't just about missing a date, it was about watching our community question the very foundation of what we'd been building together. Many pioneers began scrutinizing every piece of information, questioning the credibility of social media sources, and wondering if we'd been chasing mirages in the desert of cryptocurrency speculation. But here's what that August disappointment actually revealed. Something far more important than any exchange listing. It showed us that Pi network's community had evolved beyond passive acceptance of rumors and speculation. We became more critical, more demanding of transparency, and more focused on concrete developments rather than empty promises. That transformation might have been exactly what Pi network needed to move to the next level. The shift from August's deflated expectations to October's renewed anticipation isn't just another cycle of hype and disappointment. Something fundamental has changed in how the community approaches Pi network's development, and multiple indicators suggest the core team is finally preparing for the milestone we've all been waiting for. The transition from enclosed mainnet to open mainnet represents more than a technical upgrade. It's the difference between Pi network remaining an isolated experiment and becoming a legitimate player in the global cryptocurrency ecosystem. An enclosed mainnet, as we've experienced, allows the core team to maintain control, test systems, and gradually roll out features. But it also keeps PiCoin locked away from real market forces and genuine price discovery. An open mainnet changes everything. Suddenly, PiCoin would be subject to actual supply and demand dynamics. External validators could participate in the network. Most importantly, major exchanges would finally have the infrastructure they need to list PiCoin without the regulatory and technical complications that have kept us off platforms like Binance and Coinbase for so long. The timing of October isn't random, pioneers. Multiple sources within the community have noticed increased activity from the core team, accelerated development on the Pi browser and wallet infrastructure, and what appears to be preparation for a major announcement. Unlike the August rumors that seem to come from speculation and wishful thinking, October's anticipation feels grounded in observable technical progress and strategic positioning. More importantly than price movements, these listings open doors to institutional investors, regulatory recognition, and mainstream media coverage that traditional marketing cannot buy. If Pi Network secures Binance listing, several crucial outcomes become probable. First, dramatically increased liquidity as institutional and retail investors gain easier Pi token access, boosting daily trading volumes to unprecedented levels in Pi Network's history. This creates positive feedback loops, attracting more investors and traders, generating sustained growth rather than temporary pump and dump cycles. Second, massive global adoption, as Binance opens doors to new markets, especially regions where regulatory frameworks limit cryptocurrency trading to major, compliant platforms. Millions waiting on the sidelines, unable to participate in Pi Network's ecosystem, would suddenly have direct access to purchase and trade Pi tokens with the same ease as Bitcoin or Ethereum. Third, acknowledging historical precedent for significant price movements following Binance listings. Market data shows Binance listings consistently trigger substantial price increases, especially for projects backed by strong, engaged communities like Pi Network's pioneers. Combining Pi Network's massive user base with Binance's incredible reach makes explosive growth potential almost inevitable. Pi Network's strongest competitive advantage lies in its fundamental contrast with meme coins like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. While meme coins captured public imagination and generated massive short-term gains, their long-term utility remains questionable. Most meme coins are gambling instruments relying on social media trends and celebrity endorsements rather than technological innovation or practical utility. Pi Network offers a fundamentally different value proposition beyond speculative trading. The project builds on robust technology, tested and refined over years of development. It has a genuinely committed user base growing organically through word of mouth rather than paid marketing campaigns. Most importantly, Pi Network has a clear vision for inclusive digital finance, addressing real problems faced by billions excluded from traditional financial systems. In this context, Pi Network isn't another speculative digital asset for quick profits. It's a practical financial transformation tool that could revolutionize how people in developing countries access banking services, how small businesses process payments, and how individuals build wealth outside traditional institutions that historically excluded them. Despite excitement surrounding potential developments, significant hurdles remain before Pi Network's official Binance listing. Pi Network currently operates in its enclosed mainnet phase, meaning it's not fully open for unrestricted public trading. This enclosed phase represents strategic decision-making by Pi Network's development team, ensuring security, stability, and proper ecosystem development before opening floodgates to massive trading volumes. However, Binance typically requires projects with active, fully operational mainnets, having sufficient liquidity and trading volume. Regulatory compliance considerations require careful evaluation by Binance, especially for projects like Pi Network with unique distribution models and community-driven governance structures. Binance operates across multiple jurisdictions with different regulatory requirements, ensuring listed projects comply with applicable laws, protecting both exchange and users from legal complications. Major exchanges require complete transparency regarding tokenomics, smart contract security, and project governance before listing digital assets. Pi Network must provide detailed documentation about token distribution, blockchain operations, and security vulnerability identification and resolution. However, Pi Network's greatest strength overcoming these challenges may be its incredible pioneer community. This community demonstrates exceptional engagement beyond simply holding tokens, hoping for price increases. One of the most frustrating aspects of Pi Network's current situation is our lack of external validation from the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem. Without listings on major exchanges, PiCoin exists in a vacuum where its value is theoretical rather than market determined. This creates a vicious cycle where potential partners can't assess Pi Network's worth, limiting adoption and recognition. The absence of a globally recognized market price affects everything. Developers can't build applications with confidence, merchants can't accept PiCoin for goods and services, and even we as pioneers struggle to understand what our years of mining have produced in tangible value. Major exchanges have specific requirements that simply can't be met while operating on an enclosed mainnet. They need transparent trading volumes, clear regulatory compliance, and proof of genuine decentralization. Until Pi Network opens its mainnet and demonstrates these characteristics, we'll remain locked out of mainstream markets. The regulatory environment has become increasingly complex since Pi Network began its journey. With over 35 million users across more than 200 countries, the core team must navigate an incredibly diverse regulatory landscape where what works in one country might be illegal in another. This complexity might explain the core team's conservative communication approach. Rather than making premature announcements that could create legal complications, they appear to be working methodically to ensure compliance across major markets. If October brings the open mainnet launch, it will likely include robust regulatory compliance measures crafted to meet international standards. Pi Network's technical infrastructure has been developing quietly while the community focused on exchange listings. The enclosed mainnet has served as a massive testing ground, allowing optimization for the scale that an open launch would demand. The Pi browser has evolved into a sophisticated gateway for Web3 interactions, designed for mainstream adoption unlike traditional wallets requiring technical expertise. The consensus mechanism based on the Stellar Consensus Protocol offers advantages over both proof-of-work and proof-of-stake systems. It's energy efficient and designed for true decentralization. However, the real test comes only when the network faces real-world transaction volumes and external validators. The enclosed mainnet can simulate conditions, but the chaos of an open cryptocurrency market will reveal whether the technical foundation is truly robust. Pi Network's potential October launch happens against global economic uncertainty and evolving cryptocurrency adoption attitudes. Central banks explore digital currencies, governments implement new frameworks, and institutions increasingly view crypto as legitimate. This timing could work favorably. As traditional systems face inflation and accessibility challenges, particularly in developing countries where many Pi users are located, a user-friendly cryptocurrency with global reach could find significant demand. The mobile-first approach aligns perfectly with billions accessing internet primarily through smartphones. The demographic profile, concentrated in Nigeria, India, Brazil, and the Philippines, represents fast-growing economies where crypto adoption accelerates, traditional banking is inadequate, and mobile payments are becoming essential. Pi Network would be uniquely positioned to capture this growing demand. The core team's conservative communication has frustrated many pioneers, but it might represent sophisticated strategy for managing expectations and regulatory compliance. Unlike projects relying on hype, Pi Network has consistently prioritized substance over marketing. This approach makes sense considering regulatory scrutiny. Premature announcements can create legal liabilities, especially where securities regulations apply. The team's reluctance to provide specific timelines might be protecting the project from regulatory challenges that have derailed other initiatives. August's silence might have been necessary preparation for October's developments. Building exchange relationships, securing approvals, and completing audits require confidential negotiations that can't be shared publicly until finalized. October is approaching fast, and whether it becomes Pi Network's breakthrough or another disappointment depends on factors largely beyond our control. But we can control how prepared we are for whatever comes next. If this analysis helped you understand why October matters so much, hit that like button. Every like helps us reach more pioneers worldwide. Subscribe and ring that notification bell, because if October delivers, you'll want to know about every development immediately. Share this video with every pioneer you know, especially those who lost hope after August. Our community's strength has always been our unity and shared belief in Pi Network's potential.